here, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is a bit different to normal. Instead of showing you the workouts from the Sarah's Day Sweat It to Shred It 8-week ebook, which I'm currently undertaking, I am instead going to tell you 3 things that I think you need to know before you purchase the ebook, and these are 3 things that I wish I had known before I made the decision to buy. So I hope you'll carry on watching and I hope this is helpful for you. So tip number 1. When you go to the website to purchase the ebook, you will notice that the price given, 69 Australian dollars and 99, is only given to you in that one currency. Now, wherever you live, I'm from the UK, the price that you pay will depend on the current exchange rate on that day. Now, one thing to be careful of, I actually emailed the Sezi Squad customer service to ask if they knew if there was any additional bank charges associated with buying this online through a different currency, and they replied and said no, there isn't, there's no bank charges for purchasing this online ebook. Now unfortunately that was wrong and I ended up with an additional bank charge. Now I know you get bank charges when you shop abroad, when you're on holiday for example, but I wasn't sure if that was the case for online, hence why I checked, and I was a little bit disappointed that they came back and said there wasn't when in fact there was, so I paid an extra couple of pounds. I didn't go back and say anything to them because it's only a couple of pounds, I can afford it, it's not the end of the world, but I just wanted to mention that to you in case you're on a budget and you're saving. It's just to be careful that the chances are you will get charged a foreign transaction fee, so just be a bit careful. You might want to contact your bank before you make the purchase. Tip number 2. Throughout the ebook there are activity days, and I've noticed that not all of the activity days are actually achievable for everyone. Now for example, there's a swimming activity and not everyone can swim. Not everyone has access to a swimming pool or can afford to go to their local swimming baths. And there's another activity which is doing a workout, a particular exercise throughout the adverts of TV shows, and your living room might not be big enough to do that workout, or you might have other family and friends that are also using that living room and watching a telly, so you might be uncomfortable to do that activity with other people in the room. So I'm not saying it's a complete game changer, but I am saying be conscious that you might have to put some of your own workouts together. And although that might not be a problem for some people, it did take me a while to get my head around the fact that I paid for this workout guide and yet I'm having to put my own workouts together. So if you're fine with it, then that's great, but if not, just consider the fact that you might have to still be making up your own workouts rather than following the guide that you've actually paid for. And you might want to pre-plan those workouts so you don't get to the day and then suddenly get stuck for motivation, because trust me, there's nothing more frustrating than being in your workout gear ready to go and then realising you've now got to sit down and plan a workout. To give you an example of one of the activities that I had to substitute, I actually filmed this in a previous video, but what I decided to do was to spend some time practicing some of the moves that I struggle with. So for me, I struggle with lunge jumps. I'm absolutely terrible at those, and I practiced my ankle taps. I know some people call them toe taps and they're called toe taps in the guide, but I just can't reach my toes. So for me, they're ankle taps and they're going to stay that way until I improve. And finally, tip number 3, there is actually very little instruction in this workbook, which to be honest is a little bit weird considering it's an ebook based on teaching us how to live an active lifestyle for 8 weeks. So if you're looking for an ebook that's going to teach you how to do each exercise and teach you the right form and the best form to avoid injury, then unfortunately you're not going to get that from this ebook. This ebook is primarily based on exercises which are listed with 3 small pictures showing how the start of the move should look, how the middle of the move should look, and how the final position of the move should be. And these pictures are very small. On one A4 sheet of paper, there's 3 small circles next to each of the 7 exercises. And it basically is a still photo taken of Sarah performing the exercise. But the pictures, although they give you a reasonable idea of how to complete that move, it actually isn't teaching you. There's no words, there's no instruction, there's nothing saying to do this correctly, make sure your knees don't go over your feet, and when you're doing the plank you have to keep your back in this position, and all this sort of thing. That's all missing. There is none of that in this ebook, and I find that really weird, the fact that I've brought an ebook from somebody that's trying to teach me to do an 8-week active lifestyle before, and yet there's no instruction. And I'm looking at some of these pictures thinking, okay, I've never done a froggy squat before, I've never done ab kicks before, and rather than just been able to get on with my workout, I'm having to then Google and look at other fitness people to find out how to perform those moves. And to me, that's just a little bit strange. I really feel like that's missing from this ebook, and I feel like if you're a beginner, it would be so easy to cause yourself an injury, because you're basically trying to put together how this workout should be based on 3 tiny pictures with no instruction, and I just find that a little bit odd. I really would have wanted more information than what there is at the moment. As well as that, some of the workouts are actually only in words, so it's literally just a list saying what you should do. So planks, push-ups, mountain climbers, all this sort of thing, just in words. So if you're quite new to fitness and those sort of terms are new to you, then just bear in mind that you're not going to be able to just jump straight in and do the workouts. You will need to do that research beforehand. Of course, if you are an avid Sarah's Day follower, you've probably seen Sarah doing some of the workouts before, but again, just watching somebody is still not telling you the correct form. So just to clarify, I'm not saying that the ebook isn't effective. I'm sure it does promote fat loss and toning, and I can't wait to see my results at the end of the 8 weeks. I've currently just finished week 4, ready to start week 5 on Monday. I just think it's things that you need to be wary of. For me personally, if I knew how little information there was about each exercise and how to perform it correctly, would I have still bought it? I don't know if I would have done, to be honest, because I do think spending that much money on an ebook, the basics I want is to be told how to perform each exercise. So for me, having to go away from this ebook that I've bought to be able to carry out the 8-week guide, and then having to go to other fitness YouTubers to see how to perform the exercise, to me that just feels a bit weird. It doesn't sit quite right with me. So I hope that's been helpful, and again, can I just clarify, I'm not saying that the ebook isn't effective, and I really like Sarah, and I think that what she promotes is absolutely awesome. I only wanted to share these 3 things because, like I say, they're things that I wish that I had known. So hopefully it's helpful. Also, just to let you know, I'm going to be filming a hints and tips video soon, which is just things that I've picked up on that have helped me get to the end of week 4. So if you're interested in seeing that video, then please hit the subscribe button so you can see when that video becomes live on my channel. But for now, take care everyone. I hope you're all doing really well, and I will see you next week, hopefully, when I show you my week 5 progress. Bye for now.